Real conversations, real solutions, real success.
Success is my religion.
Welcome to the Porch on the Success is My Religion podcast network. I'm here with CJ, the chosen one. And I'm, of course, the success engineer. Oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you. I changed up the Uber Chronicles.
Oh, nice.
So I'm going to just start recording my thoughts in between rides. And I'll get more content instead of asking somebody in the back if they want to, discuss something or whatever. I was like, I'll just discuss it myself and talk through it. I already got like 30 minutes of content already.
There won't be any wrong answers. I'll tell you
Right,
that.
right. That's what I said. I was like, and I was talking to the camera. I said, well, maybe I'll just talk through this, and I want it to be an open conversation between me and the watcher of this video. So, um, you know, nobody has the right answer. I don't have a right answer, but I know how to get the right answer. But
You can
uh,
mainstream the answer.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I was like, if you just think you have the right answer, scroll on to the next the next thing, because we all in this together. I was talking to somebody the other day, and I was like, we're all doing what we can as human beings,
Mm-hmm.
and we nothing is all the way correct. Like, there's no correct way of being and doing things here in as a human. You know
You
what I
ain't
mean?
lying.
Because this dude, he was like, yeah, I call my daughters queens or princesses or something like that. And he was like, people laugh at me all the time or talk about me because say that. And I was like, well, forget them because you're trying to build them up, and you know, it's what you want to do and how you want to. And he was like, I'm from the South. I said, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, and yes, sir, no, sir,
Oh,
whatever. And
yes, a Southern gentleman.
yeah, that's what he said. But who knows what he really is doing? But I was like, if you do that, just do that. Like, that's just who you are. And if it's not, as long, I mean, we're all doing something in this human form, in this life that we live in. And as long as you're not hurting nobody and you're trying to build your daughters up and be respectful, like,
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
nobody, no, it should be nothing wrong with it, right?
No.
So, um, what else we was talking about just before prom? Prom was last night.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Brings back memories, boy.
Yeah, and this is one thing I'll say. I'll say I didn't have any. I don't have nothing to laugh about. I don't know what you did, but I ain't really do anything. But we do have to talk about black people teaching your kids the different line dances. You got to teach your kid the line dances. They didn't know none of them. I was sitting there teaching them the line dances. Y'all got to teach out to kids.
Well, it may be,
Mm,
line dancing is usually the teaching starts at, family functions and
mhm.
get-togethers. And I don't know if
We have
we
those.
we as a whole still do that because there's all kinds of different directions that people want to go, and people are busy, so most of the time, people just don't visit
Yeah,
like
so
they
I'm gonna
like they
start
want.
implementing that in my family because we got older kids that at
Oh
least
yeah,
uh,
and it'll be fun.
yeah, and
Yes.
I'm a instructor, so
Yeah.
like people don't know all of my life all the time, and I don't tell people, but they be like, "Oh, you're a good dancer," and I'm like,
You're
I'm a Zumba instructor. I've been a Zumba instructor for 13 years, 14 years, whatever it is.
Yeah, I need to learn how to dance, get some more rhythm. But
Yeah, but the students had a good time. They didn't really dance too much. They got tried to get out there for the line dances, some of them ratchet songs. they got out there.
Oh yeah, that'll get them moving.
And
Glorilla and
but they look nice. I keep on like I got a nasally something going on, but they
mm,
look nice and like they didn't look ratchet or like
very good,
it was
classy.
yeah, yeah, it was nice and yeah, man, these kids are they good kids. I need to say this more often is that I love being around them because they're open and honest and accepting of a lot of different people and people's styles and stuff.
Oh yeah,
So shout out to y'all for being that way. But
shine out for the uniqueness.
yeah, yeah, you can be unique all you want, but then it comes back to success. We we
No.
need to work on them skills, man,
Get
because
back here.
yeah, and like that's a part of the evolution of a person. Like
Oh yeah.
we want you to reach your fullest potential. You can't reach your fullest potential if you are, just willy-nilly about the things that you do.
Well, I want to shout out some people that I know that are very successful, but just feel like they're held back or are afraid to explore more into their success. But it's coming, and we're gonna edge you into there. We're gonna
Edwin.
yeah, we're gonna what is that hockey term? Uh, cross check. We're gonna cross check you into the boards.
We gonna fight you to get you.
We're gonna get you there.
And
Maybe fighting will help you generate enough energy to say, you know what, F it. I'm gonna I'm gonna get it done.
yeah,
This has
because
been my dream. Let's execute it. And I don't care if stuff goes wrong. We'll correct it as we go.
right, and that segues into our topic for today
Look at that. Look what I
because
did there.
like since we gotta push you, the reason we have to push you into understanding that you need the skill set to be successful is because our schools are inadequate in some places that you go to.
Mm,
I was just explaining to CJ. I was like, "Hey, we got one school over here in the suburbs that
mm.
averages about a 22 on the ACT as juniors, right?
Oh,
And our school averages between 11 and a 14 at the school I work at. I'm like, there's a gap here in academic understanding, at least, or academic effort, or whatever that is, and you have to close that gap because you can't control where you grow up, and you
no, you
can't
can't.
control what school you go to because we're adolescents and we don't have control over where we go to school. You can try to have control over where you go to school and you can think something's better, but I have students all the time. I want to go to this school. I want to go to that school because this school is boring and I don't like this school. And I'm like, well, you're gonna have to pay for college credit classes over there.
Wow.
You, so sometimes you gotta take the good with the bad, right?
You ain't
So
lying.
bye. I
Free
mean,
99 for me.
exactly, and I'll stay out of people's way, and
Amen.
you know that's why I try to make my space a welcoming space for those students to be comfortable and be smart at the same time.
Well, I think I obviously when we grew up, where you grew up made a difference. Like I don't think it matters where kids grew up. When I was growing up, I grew up in the 50s, so that was uh that was a nonchalant area, if you will. And then I kind of finished out in the 70s, and then I moved to Kansas, and then I moved back to Missouri. But by the time I reached a legal age, none of that mattered. So I don't.
It's all about what the skill set you
Yeah,
had, right?
it don't matter
And
what block
mindset.
you grew up on or what you did. Now
Whether you go to Sumner or whether you go to Washington, it don't matter
we
when it comes out there.
we did have a discussion at the barbershop about top schools, and the top school for Kansas is Sumner. but I already knew that. I knew that they've been doing great things since they've been
But are
in
they doing great things? Is
in
my
the past. I don't know.
exactly. That's what
I
I'm
don't
saying.
know, but
It looked good on paper.
everything looks good on paper.
Exactly.
But the number one school for Missouri is like a prep school for in St. Louis, which I was very surprised about. But I'm sure it's in the suburbs, and you have to pay to get into that class. But
Well, they have different categories too, and that's what I try to tell people. I'm like, it's based off of the the number of students that go there and the number of students that are what was it ti- like the Title One, which is low income. That's what
really,
category they're in. You know what I mean? They not no or correct me if I'm wrong. They not number one amongst all Kansas schools. You see what I'm saying?
well,
Are they number one against Blue Valley? Like, or even though Lathan North? Like I just told you that
I
they got.
I wasn't a part of the Google. I didn't see it. All
I
I
know, I
know
know.
is that
I'm telling you from what I know.
probably not.
That's what I'm thinking. I don't know for sure, but
But
like I'm thinking like
if I had a chance
if
to
we
go to school, I'm Blue, I'm Blue Valley it up.
you feel me?
Everything is gonna be
And
premium out there. You know
then
what I'm saying?
it's one of the programs that they have is it's called IB International Baccalaureate Program. It's a it's a program that boosts your rating as well. So it's a
At Sumner?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
But not when I worked there, because I worked there
Hmm.
for 2 years. When I worked there, it was like only 25 of the however many students doing the full IB program,
Oh, okay.
and I'm like, we're spending all of this money for the IB program, and y'all want that like the IB program is it has its own curriculum that they have to do. It's kind of like what I did in high school or in college. Um, it gives you a well-rounded experience. It forces you into a well-rounded experience.
Oh,
You know what I
okay.
mean? So it's a good program. Like I ain't saying, but only 25 students are doing it. Like that's and you're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars to be a IB school because they're the only IB school um, the in the district, I know.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying?
Well,
Like,
you know, the more you know, the more you grow.
so, and fully correct me if I'm wrong with actual statistics and everything, but this is just from what I know and observed. But I'm like, dude, when I worked there, I was the position was new, so it was like I was overseeing the students that were taking online classes because they're IB schools, so they didn't and they have a different schedule for um, you know they have eighth graders in at Sumner too, so they have to start a little bit later than the rest of the high schools. So they didn't have the tech programs or they didn't have access to that because the students didn't get there fast enough. Like they started at 8 o'clock or something like that
Oh,
and you have to be at the tech program at 7:30. Like your program starts at 7:30. So like the problem I have with the number one school in the uh, state of Kansas is that they're the same students. They don't have as much fights or the environment is a little bit better, more
oh,
conducive. The
well,
rigor is a little bit harder, and you know, but it's the same students. They still need to be taught the same stuff moving forward for after school, and I didn't see that.
oh,
You see what
okay.
I'm saying?
Yeah. All
Like,
right.
you can teach them academically, and they can be and I've talked to some of the students that graduated from Sumner, recent graduates, not way back in some not our age Sumner, but,
No, no,
uh,
no,
in
no.
the past 5 or 10 years, they were like, "Yeah." And one girl, she was really doing it, but she said she went in. to KU with like 5 or 6 people from Sumner. She said she was ready for the rigorous work, right? But the culture and environment, it was a culture shock to most of the students that went to that school. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what I keep on telling everybody. I'm like, you're sending these kids, they're getting a lot of scholarship because they have decent grades from a school.
Mm-hmm.
And but we're not teaching them how to survive in this element because like I don't care. I mean, people are really attached to like being in a group, right? I didn't have that problem. I don't necessarily need to be in a group. I'm a only child. Like I'm used to just doing my own thing anyway. But people are like, "Oh, you got when you go to a PWI, predominantly white institution, you gotta find your group." And
PWI.
you never heard that?
I've
Yeah.
I've seen it, but I didn't think it meant that.
Well, when you talk about colleges, predominantly white institution. So when you talk about colleges and them going to a PWI, like you got to know what you're there for. You're not
Oh
gonna have a
yeah,
lot of people just on your team and like
yes.
you in a competition. The bigger the school is, you in a competition, and all of these people know each other and they know people that been there before, so they already used to the culture and it's all white. So you
Mm.
come from Sumner Academy, which is black, Hispanic, and white. The majority is
Yeah,
Asian and Asian, and it's more people of color at your school, and you
yeah.
leave and y'all accepting and you know care about differences and all of that stuff. Then you go to a white environment, they don't care nothing about that.
You been
They like
whitewashed.
you gotta assimilate to the culture.
You better adapt, buddy.
Yeah. If you don't, like, you don't
Right.
get opportunity.
Mhm.
Or, what I do is I just go out there and win. I just be the best that I can be, and, like, uh, you will get opportunities because you're a hard worker or whatever,
Mhm.
which, I mean, they ain't gonna give you the top opportunities. They might not give you the top opportunities, but you're gonna get some opportunities because you're consistent and you're doing what you're supposed to do. So you don't necessarily have to rub elbows with everybody, but that's what we need to get you to. That's the that's the cross check that we got to get you
Yeah,
into.
I like that.
because because if not, you're gonna go there and you're gonna be like, "Oh, I don't have nobody. I don't see nobody like me or whatever." You might need to just see that one person from across the way who is a professor in some other,
Mm.
and just see that they there,
And
you
feel
know,
relieved.
and feel relieved if that's
That's
what you need. But I'm telling you that you need to go there with a purpose. You are there for to get a degree, no matter who's in front of you or who's next to you and who
yeah.
you got to hang out with or whatever. Maybe it's just a close to. Yeah, man, you ain't got to hang out with everybody. Like it's an individual process, and we gotta you got to take it as an individual process. You might not be around nobody, but you need to get that degree still,
You ain't lying.
and you got it some of it paid for or all of it paid for,
That's
and
incredible.
you gonna mess up that opportunity,
I would hope not.
and they taking all of those opportunities away now. If it has anything to do with a scholarship or helping out person of color, they are doing away with all of that. It can't have like they taking grants and funding and all of that stuff away from all of these institutional stuff, and so it'll be equal. Yes, that is exactly what's happening.
When
So
when was it ever equal?
it ain't never been equal, and it's not about being equal. It's about equity.
Well, I know, but it's just hilarious that we come up with these decisions to make things an even playing
Not
field.
we.
Well, we no,
Yeah.
not me, but
Nah, I'm talking about black people. We ain't
The board, we'll say the board.
the board.
The board comes up with these wonderful ideas to make it all even and even playing fields. And when was it ever equal?
It
Tell
ain't
me
never
that.
been equal.
It's never been equal. I've never thought it was equal. I've always known that I've had to do a little bit extra to get where I'm at and maintain it.
Right.
So I've never thought it was equal. Now, equal opportunity.
Who holds the opportunity is what we have to look at too.
Yeah, you got to look at the hand that's reaching out to you.
Right, right.
But nonetheless, it's I've never seen it be equal or a even playing field. There's always somebody that has an advantage or a disadvantage because people are sometimes disadvantaged of what they think they can do and how they can do it. And some people are delusional about how good they are, how smart they are. Um,
And this is why we have to take the stairs to success.
I love it.
And it's ultimately going to make you better anyway. So take that little step. Each little step is going to make you a little bit better, but we have to do it in the mindset that this is a part of the process.
Yeah,
Like
take the stairs.
you're not going to get Steph Curry's shot if you don't take shots like Steph Curry in practice. And not even in practice, in in your workouts.
Hmm.
Because practice is different. Practice is run by the coaches.
Yeah.
Your workouts is on your own time. You got to be taking those shots so that you can be a threat in the game, which you have to get to the practice first. So all of the steps that you take in that journey of your success, you have to do the reps on your own. That's why I said it's an individual process. So you gotta, if I got a scholarship and all of my friends didn't go to wherever, I'm going. And I actually did that. So none of my friends that I went to high school with, the core group of friends, they didn't
Hmm.
go to college. I was the only one that went to college. So like I was like, shoot, I gotta see what this part, this aspect looked like.
Yeah. You gotta take advantage of your opportunities.
And then take like each step, like they may be 4 years, it may be long, a long step, but there's steps inside of the steps that you have to take as well.
Oh, definitely.
So like I did everything up until this day with, I'm okay with putting in the work. This is what I have to do to be successful in whatever it is that I want to do. Even if I talk to students all the time, you may not know what you're going to do, but you have to take a step in the right direction and put in the effort, not knowing the outcome of what that effort is going to give.
You know, we talk about stuff about school and stuff, and I wonder what position I would be in if I was in a school environment. I think I would probably be like more of a counselor. Although I would probably be real successful being a teacher since there's books and stuff and you know stuff like that. But I think I'm a great listener, so that's probably counseling. Uh, Sometimes I come up with great solutions. Again, that's counseling. So I don't know.
But you can have the best solution ever if the person doesn't want to do it.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I'm just
What?
saying it because I've been a life coach for a while, like, and I've been a teacher and all of that stuff. So when I had students that didn't want to work with me, didn't want to cooperate, they didn't progress because I had the solution. Like, hey, we're doing math. You need to progress in math. This is a part of your IEP. This is what I'm saying to myself. I ain't saying it to no elementary kid, but there's always the right answer in math, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the more you get them shots up, the better you get, right?
That is
So
correct.
so let's sit down here and do it every single day so it gets ingrained in you. I start to know what 3+7 is, or 3+4 is 7, right? I start to get, and then I start getting faster and faster. I don't necessarily have to hit the touch points or whatever.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
I do
So,
see what you're saying.
but if the person don't want to do it, I can't strong arm you to do it. I can't cross check you to do it.
No,
There
no.
there comes a point where you just
That'd
have
be
to do the work.
abuse. That'd be abuse.
Of course.
Do you remember growing up hooked on phonics?
Mhm.
Do you remember how much crap people used to get when other students found out they was using hooked on phonics? That's crazy. But it helped them. Like certain people have a learning well, I don't know if that's politically correct, but I'll say it anyway. A disability of learning. You gotta give them a different a different freeway to learn. And I think that helped out a lot. Now, of course, I didn't need hooked on phonics because, we had a
Maybe you did.
I
No, I'm
don't
just
remember. But
I'm one of those people that I just gave him a hard time.
but no, you if you have a village when you're young and you have everybody that's trying to influence you before you even get to school. That's why I say this generation and the generations of the future are going to have advantages because they're going to get thrown in school as soon as they don't have to wear like pull-ups or something because you can go to school like what 3 4 now. What is that, early childhood or something?
Yeah. But they are school is basically babysitters now. So somebody analyzed this. I don't forgot who I was talking to, but they were like, "Oh, one of my coworkers. We'll probably add him to the company. He a young dude, young white guy, but he be on his stuff. He was like, um, you got to hold the standard. And this is what's not happening in the schools is that even in the bad schools, you're not holding a standard, a
Mm.
standard, a standard of excellence, right? If you want to say that. So, a kid goes to pre-K, goes to elementary school. Elementary school doesn't hold a standard. They coddle them and or her, and they don't hold them to this is what you need to be doing and we need to get you there and we need to help you get there and if not we can't move you forward. That's what it's supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
If we're taking that time to do that, so that student gets pushed through, and now after elementary school and in middle school you're behind, and you're not behind by a little bit, you're behind by a lot, and you don't have an IEP or a disability. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And now at the high school level, we are yeah, we're just taking the because everybody in that scenario has not held that standard. Now we got to try to put you in a standard, and you are so stuck in your ways,
Oh,
and you've been rewarded for this
nothing.
behavior right all the way through, and now we're trying to correct that behavior at high school. That it's all it's all through the system.
Well, pardon what I'm about to say, but do you feel like by the time they reach your level that they're at least still a little bit of wet clay so you can mold them?
You can if you but you have to be willing at that point.
Okay.
You
That
have to be willing
that's what I'm
to be
concerned with.
molded. And I think that's why I do this is because there's a possibility for it's only on you though. Like because once you get out of high school, nobody cares about your IEP. Nobody cares that you behind. Nobody cares what happened in high school or before that.
Mm.
Once you get out, and that's the most interesting thing about the whole scenario is that nobody cares. What do you want to do about it?
Uncle CJ cares.
Yeah, I care too, but what are people gonna do about it? Like we can't strong arm you into doing the work now.
I can if you can't open my job. Pow! Do this.
And they ain't gonna do it because they just think that they gonna make it. I don't understand the delusion.
I don't understand it either. I don't think I've ever been delusional about anything, but I
I
may not
probably
have
was
had those.
delusional for a while about making the NBA or something like
That
that,
that
but
wasn't delusion. You had great skills. You went to college. You did everything you needed to do. It wasn't
no,
delusion.
you got to see the different levels. There's Division 1, Division 2, Division 3, NAIA, Division 1 through whatever, and you see what I'm saying. And I went
Yeah.
into NAIA, and I was on JV. It-
Oh,
it- like the delusion. If I was delusional about if I was going to the pros, like I wasn't delusional. At that point in time, I was like, all right, I know I ain't about to go pro because I ain't at Duke, I ain't at UNC, I ain't at none of them that play
Wow.
Michigan. I ain't the Fab Five. It's nothing. So we gotta understand where we're at, and we gotta take those stair steps. And you go, oh man, they get so much praise and stuff for doing average stuff, and I'm like, that's what you're supposed to do. I'm not gonna clap for you because you're supposed to be here on time. Oh, can I get a snack for being on time?
No,
No.
congratulations. You're hungry.
How about
Do it for a month
and
solid.
and just by that interaction is telling me that you need a reward every time you do something that you're supposed to do. And that's a problem because you don't get rewarded.
Because I participated.
Yeah. The participation trophies.
That's the most. I can't remember what age I was when I discovered that, but I just find it super hilarious, and it transforms to you as an adult. I just want to let you know that. So
Yeah.
once you're out of the structured system of praise, and you're in the real world, being an adult, there is no ribbons, there is no trophies, there's nothing. You either pay bills and you're successful and not homeless, or you are barely getting by, but there is no rewards. When you pay your rent, they don't celebrate and throw you a party and give you a cupcake. Um, Adulthood is falsified in a lot of ways because, especially in this day and age where you just, well, you showed up, so here's this. That doesn't happen in real life. I think
You showed up. Oh, we're gonna give you $100,000 for showing up.
I'll show up anywhere you want me to.
Right.
Make sure that clears.
$100,000 a year.
I'll show up every year and disappear again.
But that's the fallacy of life. Like,
Yeah.
and so I just watched a video maybe this morning or last night about cause. Causes like the dude that does like sculptures with the X on the eyes and
Hmm.
stuff, and like he's real big. So I think this is something probably I need to study up on, but he got opportunities early in life. Like, I mean, like right out of high school, went to New York and was working in and got a job at whatever marketing company early, like real early. I don't know how he got. I mean, he might have been good or whatever, but like I was like, no, not a lot of people get this opportunity, and you can kind of see, hey, the progression of what if he. The thing that I saw was that they're gonna try to limit our exposure to uh, professional work. in the areas that we want to work in, right?
Okay.
They're going to try to limit us so that we don't gain the skills necessary to innovate and do these things on our own. So our timetable is pushed back. So the opportunities that he got at 18, 19, 21 years old, we get at 30, 31. 30.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying?
Well, you've been in the system long enough. I guess we can trust you.
Right,
Cause
right,
goddamn,
right.
been here for 10 years.
So that goes back to why we need to take those stairs, our own personal stairs, so that we understand what we need. And this is why reverse engineering is so powerful, is because we can already see those steps, and I can put myself in the elementary school, or I can start just the idea comes while I'm working in an elementary school that I just happen to work at, you know? And
Mm-hmm.
then now, oh, I got the idea. Maybe I should figure out what this educational system is about, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I put myself in the college and higher education. Then I go back to high school because I didn't get that experience, and now I have all of the experiences necessary to speak to you on a direct level of this is what I need you to do without having to work at a position that tells me, hey, you got the skills and stuff necessary to be doing those things. Does that make sense?
That does make sense.
So that's the stair steps that I had to personally take, and didn't have no money involved. Like the money, like I didn't get any rewards for that. Like I ain't got a reward or award since high school basketball. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So what are you doing this for? Is my is my plea is my question. Like you got to be doing this for yourself. You got to understand that whatever opportunity you have to get something out of it. It's like those aliens in Independence Day where they go to each each planet and suck out all the natural resources. So
Mm.
whatever job you doing right now, you have to be so efficient at that job that you're getting something out of it. Whether it's just showing up on time and doing a good job, that is a part of the process. That's a step in the right direction because you're going to get an opportunity to do something else. As long as you don't become complacent with the money that they're giving you, as long as you have a goal outside of what that work is a lot of people don't have a purpose outside of the work that they do, and I'm like, I've never been that way, and maybe people
Mm.
felt that from me, and that's why they didn't promote me or uh try to mentor me to be better or whatever. Like I never had bosses come up to me and be like, "Hey, we want you to, you know, fill this role at one day. You know, I think you can do it." I never had that, and I'm really
Oh.
coachable. So, so if somebody would have came up to me and said that, I was like, "Hey, maybe I want to do that." But then maybe they didn't because they saw and I talked about like I ain't even trying to be here a long time. You know what I mean?
So you think they soured the opportunity they was gonna give you because they knew
No,
that you
there
weren't
was
gonna.
no opportunities.
Oh,
Once
okay,
people get in the education, positions, they stay there for a long time.
okay.
So, yeah, I didn't think that, like, I was gonna move up or anything like that. Somebody would have had to leave in that area, you know?
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's for that particular school, but nobody even came up to me and was like, "Hey, you would be good doing this. Like this is where I see that you can get better at to put
Mm.
yourself in position to do that." And that's the personal development that I talk about that is not going to happen when you get into the workplace. I was like, unless you seek it out, it's not gonna happen. Like people aren't just gonna come to you with, "Hey, we want to help you out in your future endeavors," which is what businesses should do. Since people usually only last like 3 years, like you should be developing leaders so that if they want to come back, they can
Yeah, they
and want
come back
or
strong.
will. And but if they leave, you've built up somebody that is going to take the baton and run with it, right?
Mhm.
That's what conscious human beings do, you know what I mean? Like, I want you to be better. I want you, even if you're not better here, I want you to get better while you're here. So if you choose to move on, that's fine. Like, but I've had an impact in your career so that it helped you along the way. And that's probably gonna be a longer vision of the work hard philosophy,
Mhm.
is that helping businesses understand that, hey, people aren't lasting a long time, but they have to have a mutual arrangement, not just monetarily. The reward can't just be monetarily in this exchange. Um, the exchange has to be like, hey, I need you to work hard for me, but I'm going to develop you so that if you choose to leave, you have the skills necessary to move on to whatever it is that you want to do. But work hard for me. I'm paying you. Like, this is a relationship, and you have long term success anyways because you're developing leaders. Managers manage people. Leaders develop
Mm.
leaders.
Mhm.
So
Okay. Well, yeah. My job situation was a little bit different. I got in parts, and I was the youngest person in there, so I was willing to learn the things that you need to learn in case. It started out with, "Hey, I'm going on vacation. I need you to do this, this, and this."
mhm.
All right. So I'm the type of person that I'll learn something, but I have to do it repetitively.
That's everybody. You're not the only type of person.
Oh, okay. Well,
Every
I didn't
but
want to. I
I
didn't
get
want to
you.
seclude anybody, but I
Uh,
need to do things repetitively in order for me to put my spin on it so it works and makes sense to me. And so far, so good. It has. Now, I may not be a good teacher, or maybe I'm not a great trainer, if you will. Or maybe the persons that I trained didn't have the mindset, or they wasn't gonna be there for very long
oh, you
anyway.
talking about in your job?
Yeah,
Okay.
just in my job. But for the most part, my first parts manager, he really saw some production in me, and he's like, "Hey, I want you to do this, this, and this." So I would do it, and I perfected, and then we would go on to something different, and then I felt like he was projecting me to replace him, but obviously he did not have a choice in who gets the promotion when he decided to retire. So somebody else got it. It was fine with me because that's a stressful job. I'm not a stressful person, so I don't know how long I would last with just being so nonchalant. Like, I'm not really worried about that. Let's do this. But we all play a position, and we all should know our roles and do that.
And sometimes you have to wait. That's a part of the stair steps. Like, sometimes you're not all the way ready
Mm-mm.
for that position, and you would have failed. And that's a positive way to think about it
Hmm.
if you didn't get that opportunity. But if you think you deserve that opportunity, go ahead and go in and work for that opportunity.
Well,
And it just worked to be better. And whatever opportunity was supposed to be meant for you, I think that's a part of the manifestation type of thing. I think that's more of along the lines of what manifestation is. You can't just be manifesting something in your dreams on your bed, not doing nothing. But the manifestation involves work.
you do have to
If
put in the
if you
work.
choose to use that as a strategy. I mean, always have a vision for yourself, always have dreams and stuff. I guess that's manifestation, but
Yeah,
like, manifestation without work is never gonna
that is very true. That's a
happen.
very true statement. I don't have anything to add on to it. But also, on the way over here, I was thinking about what if I just stopped doing the things that I'm doing, like just cold turkey. Stop. No, no being supportive, no being encouraging. Just I just worry. strictly about myself, how would that look? Terrible. It would look terrible.
Maybe it wouldn't.
I mean, it would look terrible for me, but my surroundings would be terrible.
Why would your surroundings be terrible?
Because sometimes people need to be motivated. I need to be motivated.
That's why you have to do it for you first. Like,
Yeah. But
so you don't understand the "I won't lose, you won't lose, we
no,
won't
I
lose"
I
concept,
I
though.
I absolutely do.
Okay, so
I'm just
it starts
saying,
with you. So you have to, at some point in time, you have to go individual and do for self by yourself, like Tupac said, and then help other people. But
as
you trying to help other people and
as I help myself.
yeah, and that's not gonna work. The focus isn't where it's supposed to be. And those people that are going to be affected in motivated in a positive way are just going to see you doing the stuff that you need to do without you even having to do anything. That's the "you won't lose" part. That's what I'm
Hmm.
saying.
That's what I'm trying to get to.
The "you won't lose" part.
Hmm. I
But you
don't.
ain't even finished the "I won't lose" part.
You is me. I am you.
No, that's not you can say that, but that's not the concept.
I
That's not the
know.
concept I'm explaining,
I
but
know what you're speaking about.
but that's what I'm saying. Like that's what people understand. It is an individual thing. Yeah, but there's and that's they say one of the things that keeps black people from being successful is that we always have to help other people in our journey to becoming success, right?
Hmm.
Or monetarily successful. We're giving money back and we don't even have that money really to give back.
Mm,
You see what I'm saying? And
strong.
right, because we ain't built generational wealth. Like and shoot, my best friend from grad school, his parents are giving him monies, giving him like doing things and like buying things and using their credit to help do whatever to get lower interest rates and all of that stuff. That's giving forward, but we're
Yeah.
giving back.
Well, that's a different way of success. That's a streamlined success, I would say, because you have it in house. So the
I get what you're saying. I'm just saying that
we do not have it.
we don't have that luxury to because my friend he could have uh moved anywhere. He could have worked anywhere. He didn't have to worry about his parents. He didn't have to worry about brothers and sisters. He didn't have to worry about none of that stuff. So you're free. So they already individuals. They're already doing everything that they want to do. You see all these people going to day parties and living downtown by themselves and doing all these things. They have no worries about whoever their family members are. They're just doing for self.
They're doing them.
They're doing them.
Right.
We don't get that opportunity, but we get stuck in that because it is something that people, human beings inherently want to do is help other people,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that we need to forget that for a moment, a time, and work on ourselves. And our own success is going to help those other people. If we never work on ourselves, that success is not it's not going to be able to be distributed like you need it to be distributed. And you just gonna be in a constant cycle of I want you to get better. I want you to get better, but they're not getting better. So what do you do? The motivation is a emotion, so comes and goes whenever the emotion is not there.
I knew you would explain it better than I could. He does this all the time. That's why we have a great relationship.
I
I
just
have an idea of what I want to say and how I want to say it, and he says the technical things that you need to say to actually understand it. It's not gibberish. So that's what he just said is what I'm trying to say. Um, And I don't know if I think that's a generational thing. I don't think that that's going on per se in the generations that's coming up.
No,
Those people are all individuals.
but they have responsibilities that hold them back from we're all trying to reach our fullest potential,
Hmm.
right? But going off to college, like my friend go off to college, he's doing his own thing. He doesn't have to send money back. He doesn't have to do nothing. He's just focused on himself, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's being selfish by any means. I'm just saying he gets to focus on himself. So if we don't ever get to focus on ourselves, even we know there's problems back home.
Hmm.
That's not focusing on what we need to be focused on. And I say this all the time. I'm like, what if that person was meant to be one of the greats,
Mm.
right? And they were on their way, but dang, they had to focus. They couldn't focus all the way. They had to focus 50% at home or 50% and 50% in their craft, right?
Okay.
Right? But if they could have focused 90 to 100% in their craft, they will be at a place that beyond imagine, right?
Mm.
So the individual stuff it has to happen, but a lot of us can't because we have circumstances that don't necessarily allow us to focus on ourselves. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I get. I wholeheartedly understand what you're saying.
but you have to choose that time. You have to choose that that what that looks like. I mean, I'm a life coach. I can help you do it, but uh but it has to you have to focus on you because the other people will fall in line. The people that are supposed to be there will stay there. The people that are supposed to be there will come. The people that you ultimately want to help out, and ultimately the we won't lose part is now I'm so successful in what I do and where I'm at that I can pull you up. That's the we won't lose. You want to really get to that point.
I do.
Yeah, but you have to you have to do it in for self first.
I am very sorry. I'm gonna apologize now.
To me?
No.
Oh. Oh, for all
It's a pre-taped apology. So
Yeah, it ain't nothing to
when
apologize. Prioritizing yourself is
when I'm
not
on the road.
prioritizing yourself. You shouldn't apologize for that, and I don't think people need to apologize for that. Just you have to set boundaries for yourself, and if you don't, people will run all over them boundaries, and next thing you know,
Mhm.
you done wasted a whole bunch of years of your life, and you ain't got nothing out of it because you was trying to help other people.
Mm.
I mean that's not selfish. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't think.
I don't think
Uh,
either.
i- it's
I
something
concur.
wrong when I do have the ability to help, and as long as you have parameters of of the help, because you can't. Because you see people do it all the time, or you see our athletes and entertainers that make it real fast, and they taking care of their whole crew and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, you probably can't do that either. You know what I mean? But like I said, we are so early in the success process that we don't understand. We're still working that stuff out to really understand it.
Mhm.
White people, they already know it. 'Cause they they were, inheriting slaves and stuff, like, long time
Mm.
ago. They were, doing insurance policies when we couldn't even get insurance on each other. You know what I mean? They were doing these things for 200 plus years before we even started even reading about it. Like, we are doing great, actually, for the time period that we've been in,
Mhm. Which
and
is
with all the the adversity,
yeah.
but we're still young in the success process and reaching our fullest potential as a culture and as multiple cultures in the US at least
Mm-hmm.
is fairly new because of the adversity all of the different ethnicities have gone through. So what I want to say is that don't shame the other person of color because they not at a place where you think they should be, because we all have to go through our bumps and bruises and stuff like that. So the money and issues that you didn't have or you made the right decision all the time or most of the time.
Mm.
Somebody over here it didn't make the right decision, but we're so young in our success journey as a whole that that is to be expected. Like I had to do all of those jobs and do all of those things to get my reps up. Like
Oh
I was
yeah.
gonna miss a whole bunch of shots. Like I'm gonna miss a bunch of shots. Seth Curry misses a bunch of shots, but like he got so good that he makes more than he misses now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we haven't had those reps. Like I said, they was inheriting slaves and passing them down houses and land and doing all of these different things and making business deals. Even doing business with each other is new to us, really,
Yeah.
because like those business places got burnt down. We can't learn from that because there's no records. No, like there's people talk about it, but there's no records. There's no DNA passed along. The DNA of habits and success. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing passed along with that because it got cut off most of the time. So we're doing this on our own anyway. So we're figuring it out. Yes, we should be helping each other out, but we have to look at our individual selves and see, hey, this is what I need to do to be successful and do it with all our might before we ultimately give back. Because just by you doing the successful things necessary, you are going to be able to help other people without you even knowing it, just while walking my path. And um, I want to say this. I need all people of color to make a name for themselves in their world. So
Mm. Oh, I like that.
I need you to make a name for yourself in your world. The reason why Michael Brown wasn't an impactful, uh, 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 it was impactful, but it would have been even more impact. What if I was in that position
Mm.
and something happened to me, and you know all of the people that I know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't know all of the people that know me either. So,
No.
but I've been in these different experiences, and I have these uh um inside jokes with people, and just if I see you after years, like I'll just say something. We'll see each other from afar. Like I used to play basketball with this guy in high school. I called him Big Diesel. If I ever saw him today, like in person, I'd be like Big Diesel, like because that's
Yeah.
that's and that's after 20 years, 20 something years. Like, it would be cool, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those are just by being you wherever you are and being open to the friendships and the acquaintanceships and all of that stuff and being nice to other people, like, if something like Michael Brown or George Floyd happened to me, you know how many people would be in an uproar because they know the character. You wanna show people your character. Like,
Oh.
nobody knows Michael Brown's character but the people that knew him personally.
Yeah.
Like, not the people at the corner store, not the people that he
No.
worked with, not there was no like, you couldn't see the full picture of him. All we knew was from the few people that knew him. So,
Mm-hmm.
I need you to go out there and be your character and have everybody experience a good character, and that goes to, like, going through those necessary steps. If I wouldn't have went through those necessary steps and I just became a director at a higher ed program, like, I wouldn't know the people in group fitness that I know, or I'm not connected to all of these people. So I need you to be connected to everybody. So if something happens, the shock wave will be affected, or everybody will be affected by the shock wave of your tragedy, right?
Mm.
And we don't want anything tragic to happen,
No, we
but
don't. No, we don't.
we need that shock wave to happen if something does happen. So because if you live in that silo and your own little world and you do your own little thing, and that I wonder to myself, like, what should I expect out of life? Because I've been the helper. Like, I've helped people in all of the ways that I could, right?
Mhm.
Professionally, especially, right? So, like, what should I expect out of life if I've been helping people for so long? You know what I mean?
I would expect
Great things, right?
great things, definitely. But more importantly, I would expect great things for you knowing me, because I want everybody to be successful. I mean, this is a podcast, but individually, spiritually, and whatever other stuff you can come out with. My main goal is to help and watch you be successful.
You talking about me or them?
Everybody,
Okay.
everybody, including you. Um,
But if you're not successful yourself, how do you help people like
well,
that?
success is measured by the person,
I know
and
it's a subjective thing, right?
it is a subjective thing, because a person that sees you on the outside may think that you're super successful, you're doing everything you're supposed to do, and you may not think that you've even reached your successful peak. That was the purpose of our podcast last week, because there's levels, and if you just get comfortable and be like, all right, I'm good, there's still steps that we were talking about. You can still get on those steps and still go to the next floor, the next level. I want to reach the rooftop. Me and my uncles used to always, that was our saying goodbye. We say all the way up, and I'll see you at the mountaintop.
Not a rooftop though.
No, not a rooftop.
A
Yeah,
mountaintop.
there's no stairs on the
Okay.
mountain, so I had to
Oh,
swap
okay.
it out. But
I'm trying to.
that was our little thing, man. And uh, having that type of motivation, or having somebody say that that's what they want for you. That's what I try and instill to everybody. I want to see everybody on the mountaintop, not Mount Everest, because you could die, but nonetheless, a mountaintop that you feel successful and you are at the peak of where you need to be in life. And I want everybody to reach that area in life and be successful. And I think if a lot of people did that, then there would probably be less crime. It would be definitely be less hating, because you can't hate if you're on the same mountain unless you
Yeah.
want to push them off. But that's crazy work. Um, but nonetheless, man, I have not been a very positive person on all aspects of life, and I'm working on it. But that part of life of wanting success and wanting to be a part of people that are successful, that is very positive in my life, because I surround myself with successful people, and then I try to sponge off what they're doing if they are gracious enough to show me the process to see if I can do it. And not everything is for everybody. So that's where I am.
And
I,
yeah,
I,
I'm gonna help you out. So yeah, I'll be trying to help.
I felt like I was rambling just now,
Nah,
so I
you
just
good.
stopped.
No. Why why stop? I ramble all the time.
No, my my rambling will go all the way somewhere else.
Yeah, but I was gonna stop you if it did, but you
I
didn't,
see.
so
I put the brakes on real fast. But no, that's what this podcast is about. We want to promote success. We want you to go after your dreams. We want you to be more successful than your previous people, which would be your parents or your
brothers and
aunts
sisters.
and brothers and sisters and
And what I
aunties
say
and
all the time is that you gotta push the family forward. That's your goal, is to push the family forward a little bit, and then have offspring that are going to push the family even further, right? That's why I said we are young in this culturally in this success process. So we do have to give ourselves a little bit of grace in this process, because we're not all going to make the right decisions, and I don't even think there is a right path. There's a path.
mm-hmm.
We just got to figure out the right one for us, and that path looks different for everybody because we all have different set of circumstances. I see a lot of people that are successful men, that but they had father figures in their life, like they had their fathers there,
Mm. That
and
makes a
mother.
difference.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
like that's a whole different circumstance. So their success is not necessarily the same. We're not gauging that on the same level as somebody that grew up without a father or a mother or no parents at all, you know?
Yeah.
So we gotta give ourselves some grace, give other people grace that, I mean, we just don't have that mentality, even in relationships and stuff. Like, if you didn't grow up in a household that had a marriage in the household, like,
Mm.
it's gonna be a little bit tougher for you. Maybe you might just be that person. I got a friend that it wasn't no issue for him. Like, he just went on into the marriage. They happily ever after, all of that stuff. But
That's what I'm looking for.
you know, no, you're not.
I'm not looking for happy ever
Oh,
after.
yeah, you are looking for happy ever after. You ain't looking for marriage. So, that's what I'm saying. It's different success for everybody. That's a perfect example. Happily ever after doesn't mean the same thing either. So,
Mm.
it
Point taken.
I got to come back. That's why they call me Mr. Sassy.
Wow, that's crazy work.
I'll be having to come back 'cause I hold back a lot at the school. I'll be
Well,
like,
most of the time you don't be lying though, so
I know, that's why they call me Sassy. They like,
know me
I,
so well.
so they I have to I have to I have to tell everybody. Well, I have to start saying this, like, either I'm attacking you, I'm coaching you, or I'm warning you. So
Wow.
attacking you is like, you need to do something else and you feel bad about what I'm saying. Coaching you is like, I feel what you're saying. I need to do this. And I'm going to actively look into this, right? Or I'm warning you because you already doing it, but you don't want to fall back into having to be coached up again because you're already doing it. Keep on doing what you're doing.
Yeah,
So
I get all three then. Look at that. Look at the benefits.
you get it by default just by being around it, because I don't ever get to really use all the stuff. I need to use it on a day to day basis. That's what I'm about to do with all this content that we're about to put out. Like,
Yeah, we
I
about to
need
do it. We about to flood the block.
all the way. That's what I'm saying. Like I need them to feel me, because like, I'm a good person, you know what I mean? I may not fit into a corporate mold or a school
Mm.
mold or whatever, but you know, I don't think I'm that bad of an employee. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like talking about myself, but like, man, I did what I was supposed to do, but I want
Yeah,
to do more,
yeah.
and
You want to do
the
more.
more is not in a educational aspect. Like, I don't think that is the more that is needed. The more that is needed is, like I said earlier, the kids that um maybe have the rigor and they are ready for the experience, but don't have anybody to walk them through the experience
Mm-hmm.
and push them in the right direction. Like if you got a scholarship, eh, eh, you're not everybody's gonna go to a HBCU.
No.
There's only a few out there. They cost a lot too at the same time. Many of them, but wherever you get planted, bloom there. Like I need you to be like character. Like people know me from college, and we didn't even talk. You know what I mean? Like they know me and know of me, and like they know my character just by the way I move. That's what I'm saying. That I won't lose. Like it has to be you, and people feed off of that. People are attracted to that. People will be motivated by that. And I'm just telling you stuff that that I've experienced. So um, you know that all of this is not a this is not a one one step thing.
No.
This
It's
is
definitely not.
multiple steps. That's why I continue will continue to do the podcast and why I need to get uh more content out there because like there's a lot to learn about success. Like we've been through so many different aspects of success just in this podcast that need to be expounded on. And we don't have that much, we have that much time, but like not on this particular podcast. You see
No.
what I'm saying? Like that.
So
And
we need a podcast and a podcast.
yeah, that's why it's the Success is My Religion podcast network. You gotta have like I gotta do my own. I gotta have, but like I'll be thinking I need it structured and stuff, but like all I need is a question, and I'll just boom, just start going off on a tangent,
Yeah,
right?
that's Michael
At night,
Rance.
yeah,
Mm,
Michael Rants.
yeah.
But there's a lot more to success that we don't necessarily understand. You don't necessarily understand, and that's why I say like starting in high school, like 15 to 25 years old is like y'all have to listen to somebody. Don't wait to listen to somebody or find uh I'm not necessarily a guru, but find somebody that you can listen to that's giving you valuable information that helps you in the steps of your process. Um, especially like that's an individual thing too. So you have to I don't like the word humble, but you have to be okay with yourself to say I need some help. I
Mm,
need some help. I knew I needed help, but I was good as observing people, so I can observe people's habits and
yeah,
the
I'm
way they
great.
move about
I
people.
feel like great at observing.
Huh?
I feel like I'm great at observing too.
So I observe and analyze. so I bring it all the way back to so like the reason why I like CJ around is like you like a younger success version of me. You know what I mean?
I take that as a compliment. Wow.
Like like I did most of. That's how I know you so well because I hear it. Like I'm like, oh yeah, this is what I did. Like and I don't necessarily tell you all the things that I understand about you, but but I try to give you every once in a while. Just be when we be talking and stuff at lunch and whatever. But like this dude, I see myself in him. Like I mean, we grew up similarly and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So that's another aspect of it. But um, yeah. So final thoughts because we didn't went over.
Well, my final thoughts, and we'll close this, and we're gonna. I know I've been saying this, but I have to implement it in order for it to be pushed forward. So As you know, you need to be all the way up. You need to be committed to excellence. You need to adapt or perish. So if you're not willing to adapt, the person or the part of you that is not willing to concede to success needs to perish for you to be successful and then you can flourish.
I ain't got nothing. Give me my theme music. I mean, it's. I mean, I done said all I needed to say.
Yeah,
Y'all got this. CJ get the last thought, man, because man, I be talking too much.
I don't think you talk too much, but
Hey, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, let us know in the comments. If you got this far, not a lot of people get that far, but we just gonna keep on hashing these out because sooner or later we're gonna gain traction. We've been getting a little bit of hits
there we go.
consistently, so I've been seeing the analytics. I've been trying to do it naturally, see if anybody picks up on it and like playing with the all of the stuff. So that's comment, questions, comments, concerns. Like, yeah, this is an open dialogue. You know, I
Yeah,
don't know everything, but I know a lot of things.
I'm gonna start sending these transcripts to individuals that I know so they can